Welcome, Chosen One. You've stepped into a sanctuary where evil is stopped at the door. Here, you are safe. Here, you can breathe freely, let your guard down, and simply be. In this sacred space, no masks can deceive and no dark forces can hide. You belong because you see what others cannot, and that makes you powerful. Now let's dive into the truth that others may refuse to see. How does it feel when the darkness in someone reveals itself to you but no one else believes it? When you speak your truth, only to be met with confusion, or worse, doubt. You're standing on the edge, seeing the shadows move, and yet everyone around you is blind to it. The person everyone praises, lifts up as pure and good, shows you a side that is manipulative, even wicked. How does it feel when people question why you're not happy? When they wonder why you've distanced yourself, thinking it's you who's the problem, not seeing the deception you've uncovered? This is your moment to wake up to a deeper truth. You've been chosen to see beyond the surface, to sense the evil lurking in the shadows of someone's soul. The real question is, what will you do with that knowing? Can you stand firm in the face of disbelief? Family can tear you down in the shadows, just to feel better about themselves, but in front of others, they praise you like you're the greatest thing that ever happened. They thought you had it good, but now they see why you left. It's time to recognize the truth behind closed doors. There's a message here. People you trust, even family, can betray you. They want your light dimmed because it exposes their darkness. They don't care about your well-being. They want control. But this battle isn't against flesh and blood. This is spiritual warfare. You attract both light and darkness. Some are drawn to you because they see your power, your potential. Others are drawn to break you down, to snuff out your light. This is the nature of the spiritual realm, and you need to be vigilant. Behind closed doors, people wear switchable masks. They can smile in your face, tell everyone how great you are, but behind those doors, they show their true colors: cold, manipulative, and envious. It hurts, yes, especially when it's someone close. But you must see it for what it is: a spiritual attack. The demons you battle are cunning. They know how to make it seem like you're the one in the wrong. They manipulate situations to control the narrative, to keep their mask intact in front of others. You must recognize this game. They are threatened by your purpose, your assignment from God. We've all encountered them. The ones who wear masks, hiding their true intentions behind a facade of kindness or charm. These people can switch personalities in an instant, fooling everyone around them while you, the chosen one, see the cracks in their disguise. To the world, they're generous, caring, even lovable. But behind closed doors, when no one else is watching, their mask slips. You see the manipulation, the dishonesty, the selfishness. It's like living in two different worlds, one where everyone thinks they're wonderful, and another where you're faced with their true darkness. You might have wondered, why can't others see what I see? Why am I the only one who feels the weight of their deception? It's isolating, confusing, and emotionally exhausting. You start to question yourself. Are you too sensitive? Are you overreacting? But deep down, you know the truth. You're not imagining things. You're not crazy. You're seeing the reality of their spirit, something most people are blind to. They wear their mask well, convincing others of their goodness while draining the life out of you. It's hard to explain to anyone why you feel the way you do, and when you try, you're met with disbelief or excuses on their behalf. The truth is, these people are masters at hiding. But no mask is perfect, and the cracks are always there, waiting to be seen by someone who has the vision to look deeper. How God sees you and them. God sees everything, both the masks they wear and the struggle you face in dealing with it. He's watched you silently endure, knowing that you've been chosen to witness their true nature for a reason. He sees you standing strong while everyone else is deceived. And more importantly, he sees them in all their actions, even the ones they thought were hidden. God knows how many chances they've been given to change. He's sent them opportunities for growth, for redemption, for healing. He's offered them light, but they chose to remain in the shadows, preferring the comfort of their mask to the challenge of transformation. They had countless moments to become better, to take responsibility for their actions, to step into the light. But instead, they continued their game of manipulation, content with deceiving others while their spirit withered. Yet through it all, God has been patient. He's watched them squander their chances. But He's also watched you. He sees how you've held on to your truth, how you've refused to let their deceit drag you down. He sees how you've kept your light shining, even in the face of darkness. And He's been waiting for you to reach a critical moment, the moment when you decide that enough is enough. When you decided it's enough, there comes a point when the weight of someone else's deception becomes too much to bear. You reach a breaking point, not because you're weak, but because you finally realize your strength. You decide that you will no longer allow their mask to affect your life. You draw a line, set a boundary, and say, "No more." It's in that moment that God is waiting. He's been watching, waiting for you to recognize that you are worth more than the pain they've caused. The decision to step away to protect your spirit isn't just about you. It's a signal to the universe that you're ready for the next chapter. God has been waiting for you to take this step because He knows the power that comes from choosing yourself, from refusing to be entangled in someone else's darkness. It's an act of faith, of trust in His plan. When you decide it's enough, it's not just about ending a relationship or walking away from someone toxic. It's about stepping into your purpose. God sees your strength, your resilience, and He's ready to guide you to higher ground. The path forward may not be easy, but it will be blessed, because you've chosen truth over comfort and growth over stagnation. God never forces us to act. He waits for us to choose, and when we do, He moves mountains. So when you made that decision, you set things in motion that will elevate your life. You've shed the weight of their mask, and now your spirit is free to rise. Tea takes time, but eventually, the truth always comes to light. The people who hurt you, who wore their masks so convincingly, can only hide for so long. You might have spent years trying to explain to others what was really going on, how behind their charming smile there was manipulation, cruelty, and deceit. You felt isolated because no one else could see it, but then something shifts. The mask slips. The same people who once doubted you, who brushed off your concerns, are now starting to notice the cracks. Maybe it's a small moment. A lie that's too obvious, a reaction that's too sharp, or a manipulation that they can no longer deny. Slowly, they begin to see the true nature of the person who has caused you so much pain. The very darkness that you've been facing alone now becomes visible to others. And when that happens, something powerful occurs. The weight you've been carrying, the burden of knowing the truth while being surrounded by disbelief, starts to lift. You're no longer standing on an island of solitude. The very people who doubted you now come to you with apologies, with understanding, and with a new sense of respect for what you've been enduring all this time. For so long, it felt like you were the only one who could see the wolf in sheep's clothing. But now, those around you are seeing it too. The person who once fooled everyone is no longer able to hide behind their mask. Their actions, which once seemed invisible, are now plain for all to see. The manipulation, the lies, the twisted games, they can't escape the light that is now shining on them. It's an incredibly validating moment when people start to understand the battle you've been fighting. The whispers of, "Are you sure?" or "It can't be that bad," are replaced with, "I'm sorry, I didn't know." It's not that you needed their validation to know what was real. You've always known the truth. But it's healing to see that the world around you has finally caught up to your reality. And here's the thing. While they were deceived, you weren't. While they were charmed by the mask, you saw right through it. That's because you have a gift, an ability to see beyond the surface, to discern the true nature of people, even when others can't. That's why you were chosen to carry this burden in the first place. You were strong enough to see the truth and to stand by it, even when it was lonely, even when it was painful. God was with you the entire time. He knew the battle you were fighting, and He allowed it to strengthen you, to teach you about resilience, discernment, and trust in Him. While others were fooled, He knew your heart. He saw your pain, your perseverance, and your unwavering commitment to the truth. He knew that one day the world would see what you've been seeing all along. When the mask finally falls, it's not just a victory for you, it's a revelation. Those who were deceived can now learn the lesson that you've already mastered. Not everyone who appears good is good. Not everyone who speaks kindly has kindness in their heart. You've lived this truth, and now you are wiser, stronger, and more grounded in who you are. Chosen one, your battle has not been in vain. You've stood in the face of deception, of isolation, of disbelief, and you've emerged stronger. The people who doubted you are now witnesses to the truth you've always known. They see you differently now, not as someone who was complaining or overreacting, but as someone who had the courage to stand firm in the face of hidden darkness. God has been watching over you this entire time, guiding you through the storm. He knew how much you could handle, and He saw the strength you would gain from this journey. You were never truly alone. Even in the moments when it felt like no one believed you, God believed you. He gave you the sight to see the truth, and He gave you the strength to endure until the world finally caught up. Now that the truth is out, take a moment to honor yourself. You have fought a hard battle, and you have won, not by forcing anyone to believe you, but by standing firm in your knowing, by trusting in God's timing. As you move forward, remember this: God has more for you. The challenges you've faced have prepared you for greater things. The people who doubted you will now look to you for guidance, for wisdom, for strength. And you will be there shining your light, unafraid to speak the truth, unafraid to be exactly who God has called you to be. The fight is far from over, but you are ready. You have been tested, and you have proven your resilience. Now, trust that God's plan is unfolding, and that every step you take is leading you toward the fulfillment of your divine purpose. Keep going, chosen one. Your journey has just begun.